All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm live. Please let me know if you guys can hear me and see me. Not sure if I was live. Something's going on, so I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. A lot going on right now as the mainstream media is in full panic mode, and something just happened. We got to talk about New York. New York is in play more than ever, and boy, oh boy, Iowa. So CNN came out with an article yesterday saying that they came out with a segment saying that all of a sudden, Kamala is winning Iowa by 3%. Now, this is a poll that just came out, and apparently it came out of nowhere. Meanwhile, the betting markets have Trump winning this 80% to 20. Something's going on. They're setting something up. We're back to 2020, where the mainstream media is doing some crazy stuff, and we got to talk about it. I smell bullshit. We are 36 hours, less than 34, 35 hours away. Trump is everywhere right now. He just went live earlier. He's going live again. We are very, very close to this election, but we got to talk about the BS that we all smell. And boy, oh boy, we got to talk about New York City and New York, the state as a whole. We are in play more than ever, but the mainstream media is not telling you that. They're not telling you that. So they came out with this. And apparently all the liberals are celebrating it. And I told you, there's mental gymnastics going on in this election where all out of nowhere, the mainstream media begins to celebrate early just so they can get you used to Trump not winning this election. But we're looking at the betting markets. And I don't know if we had the betting markets as much as we have them today. But apparently the betting markets are showing that Trump is a landslide winner in Iowa. But according to CNN's polling, Iowa is close, apparently, allegedly. Well, Donald Trump decided to not play that game. Donald Trump is already making an announcement here that has the mainstream media going crazy. If smash the like button, let me know where you guys are watching from. Let me know where you guys are watching from if you guys can. Donald Trump decided to do this earlier today. Take a listen.
Shame. And I'm the only one that talks about it because everyone's afraid to damn talk about it. And then they accuse you of being a conspiracy theorist. These are conspiracy, and they want to lock you up. They want to put you in jail. The ones that should be locked up are the ones that cheat on these horrible elections that we go through in our country. And I don't know what's going to happen, but for future elections, I won't be even a part of it. But you ought to damn well go to paper ballots. You ought to go to voter ID. And you ought to have the election over by 9 o'clock. I'm hearing now they're going to take weeks. Can you imagine? They spend all this money on machines, and they're going to say, we may take an extra 12 days to determine. And what do you think happens during that 12 days? What do you think happens? These elections.
Hey, I tell you what. Trump sounds pissed.
They have to be decided by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock on Tuesday night.
I don't think I've ever heard Trump that pissed off before. So let's go through this once again. Smash the like button. We got a lot to go through right here because CNN is not telling the full story. CNN it is out here literally saying whatever and whenever at this point. They're a part of hoaxes, but not only a part of hoaxes. They're a part of these polls that apparently are not accurate. We got toss-ups. We got all these things. So look. Right after Seltzer says Harris is winning Iowa. Let's go through this real quick. Atlas Intel has Trump winning every single swing state. The most accurate pollster in 2020, Arizona, Trump +6, North Carolina, Trump +3, Georgia, Trump +2, Nevada, Trump +5, Pennsylvania, Trump +2, Michigan, Trump +2, and Wisconsin, Trump +1. And this is something that Atlas Intel, mind you, all these polls cost so much money to make. You can also catch these polls on Mark Halpering on Two-Way. You catch these polls everywhere. This is what the numbers look like, but we will never actually know because unfortunately for our elections, they are going to take more than one day. They're going to take more than one day to count out. And remember in 2020, it took more than one day. And the next thing you know, there's a video going around of CNN, MSNBC calling it for Kamala Harris. They started calling it for Kamala Harris. Then Kamala Harris has the infamous phone call where she calls Joe Biden, and it's posted everywhere. She says, Joe, we did it, Joe. We did it, Joe. We won. So are we going to have that same thing happen this year? Well, here's something that I'll tell you guys, and that Trump supporters are doing this year that they did not do in 2020. You guys are early voting. So right now in the early vote, Republicans are killing it. I got big news coming out of New York. Now, we're going to get back to Iowa and how big Iowa is and how big this poll is. But let's go to New York real quick. New York, ladies and gentlemen, New York Republicans vote early in record numbers, but Democrat turnout is in total free fall. Let's go to the Post here. New York Post says New York Republicans vote early. They're voting early. People are voting early, something that they didn't do in 2020. So when Trump says it's too big to rig, I think this is what he's talking about. People are going out there and they're voting extremely early. I saw all of them when I went out to vote. People, Trump supporters, were going out to vote. They're sick and tired of what's going on in New York City as a whole. They're gonna go. They're voting outside of the city, of course, but they're voting in record numbers. Now, what does this mean? Republicans are heading into the polls in New York and nationwide to vote early in record numbers. But party honchos say there's no time for slacking with the White House in control of the House of Representatives on the line. For the first time since President Reagan, New York possibly is in play for the presidential race and will certainly determine the House majority. Upstate New York Representative Elise Stefanik says to the Post, Republicans across New York and the country are voting in record numbers, early in historic numbers. They're voting early. But we must not get complacent and must keep up the momentum and continue working to turn voters out. So something's happening in New York where a lot of voters are coming out in record numbers, voting early for Donald Trump. This is so Republicans are used to, and I told you guys, Republicans are bad voters, right? And what do I mean by this? Well, Republicans don't vote in midterms as much as they should. In certain counties, they only turn out 25% of the vote. Republicans drastically do not do a good job in the midterms, and they don't do a good job in early voting. But this year, in 2024, because of this election cycle being so crazy, Republicans are turning out and they're voting early, which is something that's very different. So now you got the early vote and then you have the November 5th vote. This is where the problem begins from what I'm reading and all my research. It's that because of this, now we're going to take probably more than one day to call the election. Now we're going to know who's in the lead. But just like in 2020, you guys remember 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, things begin to change. Things began to change. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. Next thing you know, boom, things change. So we have a crazy path to victory. We have a lot of updates. We got polls coming out that contradict exactly what the market is even saying. And this is what is going to cause problems. This is causing problems for people, for common sense folks. Even some Democrats are very confused about what's going on. Why is CNN coming out with these polls? Meanwhile, the betting markets have it the other way around. And the betting markets are the most important market. Why? Because there's money involved. People are betting. Hold on. Did somebody says Europe hates Trump? Brother, you're in Europe. You can't even carry a weapon. What are you talking about? You guys don't even have guns over there. Get out of here. This is not for you. Hey. You guys already lost the power in 1776. Head on back over to across the water, bro. This has nothing to do with you, okay? First of all, you can't even carry a gun if you wanted to. Get out of here. The fuck out of here. You're in Europe? What, you got knives over there? Hey, if they want to tell you who the president is, guess what? You can't do anything about it. Get out of here, boy. Oh, God. Anyways, yeah, you guys better go work on whatever it is you got to work on. Anyways, you got flashlights over there? What? Well, let me guess what? Let me guess. Your cops got whistles? What is a cop in Europe going to do? Blow a whistle at me? Get out of here, bro. God, who cares about Europe? I don't. I know I don't. Anyways, okay, so because of this record turnout in New York, I'm spreading some good news with you guys. So because of the record turnouts in New York and the fact that New York might just be in play for Donald Trump, take a listen to what the governor of New York has to say.
It gave me a chance to tie the Republicans running in these seats, the incumbents, closer to Donald Trump, and remind everybody, if you're voting for these Republicans in New York, you are voting for someone who supports Donald Trump, and you're anti-woman, you're anti-abortion, and basically you're anti-American because you have just trashed American values and what our country is all about over and over and over. It gave.
Apparently, if you're a New Yorker and you're about to make history and you're voting for somebody other than Democrats, well, guess what? You're anti-American. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all chaotic. It's literally all chaotic. This presidential race has been the most chaotic thing I've ever thought I'd experienced. This goes for both sides. I really don't want to play the both sides. I don't want to play the one side thing. I really do. And I think Democrats know this as well. But Democrats have gone the extreme route. Yo, you guys have taken the extreme route. I have no idea why you guys are doing this. It was all jokes. I love my British folks, man. I love my British folks. I love my European mates. Don't take it personal. It's all jokes. Just like the Puerto Rican joke, you should be able to take that one. I don't know what's going on, man, but the fact that she's trashing, you know, and what type of space are we in when our elected officials, in this case, our Democratic governor, is calling us anti-American because we don't want to vote for their candidates. We don't think that Democrats are doing a good job. We want to change. We want to vote for some Republicans. I'm going to be honest. I voted for a Democrat in this election. Should I tell you guys who I voted for? I voted for him because I'm a petty individual, and I'm not even sure if this vote is going to matter. But I voted for a Democrat. And I have no idea why I voted for him, but I voted for him because I felt petty. And I felt like, you know what? George Latimer in my county, he's a Democrat. He's probably a sellout for AIPAC. He probably is. Probably not even good. He's a Democrat. I voted Republican throughout the board, but I did vote for George Latimer because he took out Jamal Bowman, and and I said, you know what, Jamal Bowman is no longer in office, and I thought George Latimer, you know, I was really happy for him. So yeah, I voted for one Democrat out of pettiness. I voted again. I was like, is this the guy that replaced? Is this the guy that replaced Jamal Bowman? Is this George Latimer? You know what? I'm going to vote for this guy. I'm just going to vote for him because I really do not like Jamal Bowman. Anyways, let's get on to the news. So, speaking of New Yorkers, we have this New Yorker telling us that we have to vote for Kamala. Somebody said, am I drunk? I'm not drunk. No, I'm not drunk. George Latimer took and replaced part of a squad member, Jamal Bowman, and I voted for him because I didn't know the Republican candidate. I don't want to know the Republican candidate at that moment. I was there only to vote for Donald Trump and some Republicans that I was very interested in these districts that I'm a part of in this county. But I did vote for a Democrat out of pettiness because I really do not like Jamal Bowman. I was very happy. But I'm just being honest with you. Anyways, let's go for let's take a look at this.
1 second, guys. 1 second. Okay. So I don't take lightly the call. Sorry, guys. I'm a little nervous. Guys. I've been waiting for this moment my whole life.
So fake, bro. You know what's unfortunate about this? She says she's been waiting on this moment her whole life. Just 1 year ago, she went viral for complaining about the fact that she endorsed Joe Biden in 2020. This is Cardi B. This is this is Cardi B. And apparently, you know, she was very vocal about the fact that, you know, Democrats weren't doing a good job. Gas prices are up, grocery prices are up, rent prices are up, everything's up. And all of a sudden, now she's voting for Kamala Harris. She's endorsing Kamala Harris. First of all, she's a mess on stage. She don't even know what she's reading. She don't even know what she's saying. And yeah, I just think it's crazy, bro. Like, you can go from one day saying and seeing the truth, and then you go right back to it. You literally go right back to it. Yes, I saw this as well. Somebody posted it in the comments. There's a lot going on, so I'm gonna go through it one by one. But Marco Rubio did make this announcement earlier. Take a listen to this.
Look, in the state of Michigan, we know now, and this is not me making it up, I can't believe it hasn't received more coverage, a Chinese national registered to vote and voted. And now, you know, he's being charged for doing that. But guess what? His ballot's going to count. We know at least one non-citizen's ballot is going to count in Michigan because they don't know which ballot is and they can't retrieve it. These are facts.
Yeah.
Now, whether that's widespread or not, I hope not. But these are things that are happening and they need to be watched at. As far as foreign adversaries, sure.
How does that happen? You guys see where I'm going with this? Like, isn't this the craziest election ever? Like, bro, what? And he says the most important part. We know of one. How many? Is it just one Chinese national? Is it? How did that even happen? So we got a lot going on in this election. We got the Iowa poll. We have New York in play for Trump. We have Kathy Hochul saying that if you vote Republican in New York, you're anti-American. You have a Chinese national on record for voting, and the fact that he's been arrested for it, but they can't take his vote away. Come on. I'm really not trying to be that guy that's negative, but man, it's becoming to the point where it's just like, for the next 34, 35 hours, ladies and gentlemen, be prepared for anything and everything. We got ballot boxes burning in the middle of the road. We got the what was it? The New York, was it the Washington Post? One of their editors walking out of an interview because he felt that the fact that we can't talk about corruption and voting without being called conspiracy theorists, he just walked out of his job. He said, I'm walking out of my job. I can't take this anymore. These are reports, that these are things being reported. Why are we just blaming Trump for this? And yesterday, what's crazy about this, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday I was at the Tina 40 rally, right? And she's running against AOC, obviously. She doesn't have the support of Republicans. This is why I don't vote for every Republican. This is why I think Republicans are some of the worst people too. I know Democrats are. They're on the top of the list, but so are Republicans. Republicans are not supporting Tina to run against AOC. Where are the Republicans? Where is Lee Zeldin? Where are the Republicans supporting Tina, who is going against AOC in a very, very crazy race? Nobody. So I voted for George Latimer. I voted for a Democrat. Who cares? Why I care? Because I'm looking around. I'm like, where are you guys? Why aren't you guys supporting Tina? Why am I just here with a whole bunch of different supporters? But where's the support? You want to run against the most prominent congresswoman in the world right now, the most famous congresswoman. So people tell me, well, why don't you just vote for every Republican? No, because not every Republican is good to vote for. A lot of them are sellouts. I'm only here to vote for Trump and Vance. That's it. Other than that, why isn't there support for Tina 40 and New York and the Bronx and Queens? And that's another huge problem I have in New York. That's like, all these Republicans in New York are rhinos, bro. They're all rhinos. Elise Stefanik, all these different, and I'm not saying that Elise Stefanik is a rhino. I'm just saying, where is the support for Tina, who's running against the most prominent congresswoman in the world right now, whose voice is bigger than everybody's in politics for some reason? So, unfortunately, not everybody that's running as a Republican is somebody to vote for. But you should vote for whoever you want. Educate yourself on who you're voting for. Definitely educate yourself on who you're voting for, ladies and gentlemen, and know why you're voting for them. But as far as the general election goes, Kamala versus Donald Trump, I'm gonna say this. This is what it seems like to me. Everybody is forgetting this. This is what I've noticed, guys. And this goes out to, oh man, have you guys noticed this too? This is my question to you. Saturday Night Live yesterday had a segment of Kamala versus Kamala and Kamala. It was like the lady who acts like Kamala, and then Kamala came. She was a part of Saturday Night Live, and obviously Saturday Night Live is making a push to vote for Kamala. You could tell. They wouldn't make that episode on Saturday, on the last Saturday before the election. And during this episode, I'm reading the comments, and it seems that people just want to see history. They just want to see Kamala become president because it'll be the first woman president, the first woman who is black, Southeast Asian, whatever the hell she is. At this point, I don't care. They want to see it. For some reason, liberals just want to see it as if they haven't seen it already for the last 4 years. Right? And everybody has forgotten about the wars overseas. Everybody has forgotten about gas prices, about energy, about manufacturing jobs, about the border. Everybody, and I'm talking about liberals, people who are voting for Kamala, they forgot. They have forgotten how bad things have been versus how good things could be. So they're all falling victim to this moment. Now let's play this out. Kamala wins. She makes history. Oh my God, we have a woman president. Oh my God, we did it. Then what? Then what, bro? Then what? We're going to get the same bullshit? Trump, a lot of his predictions have been correct, but he made a prediction. He said, if Kamala wins, there's going to be an economic crisis that faces the United States of America. And boy, do I believe it. I'm telling you, bro, like, these people are so sick in the head, in my opinion, just my opinion, YouTube. I don't want to be banned for it. You think I'm being incendiary. I'm not. I'm just saying, from what I'm looking at, a lot of people just want to see a woman president, but then what? Then what? I know that with Trump, the first thing he's going to do when he's declared the winner, I know before he even gets into office, he's going to be on the phone trying to solve these issues overseas. I know he's going to want to he already said it. He said before I get inaugurated, I'm going to be making phone calls, and I am going to be looking to make peace in the Middle East, peace in Ukraine, Russia. I know this because he's been president before, but when she wins, if she wins, God forbid, I really hope she doesn't, then what? Is she going to make the call? Is she going to make the call? Is she going to want peace? Is she going to all of a sudden be harsh on people that don't love the United States of America? Is she going to be able to handle the pressure? I'm sorry, bro. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I really, really don't. I think we've fallen victim to this before. Democrats just want the storytell, the storybook ending for a woman to finally be president and all these different things. But then what? It's my biggest question. Then what? And I just don't think that Democrats have the answer. And it's crazy because there was protesters that came to the rally against Trump yesterday. They had masks on. They had masks on yesterday. There was like a few protesters. If you saw my live stream, then you know what I'm talking about. They had masks on. Guess what they were there to do? Just take one guess, and I'll close it out with this because I want to do another show tonight as we're getting very close to the election. What were those people there to do? They got masks on and they're protesting Tino. You know what those people were there to do? They were there. They said, look, we don't hate you guys. We're here to protest AOC. The same people who wear masks and are usually, Democrat, they're not even Democrat anymore. They're voting green. I spoke to them and I was like, I know you guys are protesting this event, but I'm looking at your posters. You guys are anti-AOC. They say, yeah, we don't want AOC. Fire AOC. AOC is a sellout. And I'm like, but aren't you guys Democrats? They say, no, we're not Democrats anymore. We're part of the Green Party. I'm like, you're part of the who? The Green Party, Jill Stein. And I'm like, well, so you guys left the Democrats voting for the Green Party. Do you guys know that might help Donald Trump? They said, we don't care. We just don't want to see Democrats they kind of want to see the Democrats burn. And I said, wow. People who have green mask on, they have mask on, they're usually liberal, probably not conservative by 1 inch, said they don't care. They just want to see a Democratic Party burn by voting green. Because they know that what the Democrats have done is the fact that what they did to Jill Stein and what they did to RFK, even though I thought RFK made the right decision by endorsing Donald Trump, that's where the Democratic Party is today. This is why this is hard to believe. It's hard to believe that Kamala Harris really does have a chance against Donald Trump. It's so hard to believe. But all of a sudden now CNN wants to make it believable by just coming out of nowhere and saying, well, guess what? She's up in Iowa. That's where I think the mental gymnastics thing is coming from, where they want you to believe. They have to make it believable. So they'll come out with the biggest and craziest poll. Kamala is up in Iowa. What? She's up in Iowa. What do you mean? Has she even been out there? Has she done anything out there? She's up in Iowa by 3? Really? So you guys see where I'm going with this, right? You have people that were Democrats voting green, leaving the Democratic Party. A lot of them, by the way, because of what's happening in the Middle East. So that's where I come out with this video and I'll say, I don't know, man. This is hard. This is hard to believe. It is very hard to believe, but it is what it is. I guess that's where we're at, according to the mainstream media. I guess we shall see. How long would this election take? That's another big question I have. Are we gonna know who the president of the United States is by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning? Or do we have to wake up on Thursday or Friday to then get Kamala celebrating? You guys are saying it will take days. I'm looking at your guys' predictions. Thank you for your donations, guys. I appreciate everybody sending donations. I do. Thank you. Don't panic is all out. Trust me, I ain't panicking. That's why I get on here and talk about it. There's no need to panic. It's just you have to call it out for what it is. I'm looking at what's going on. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying. It's not going to take days. We'll know. All right, guys. Well, let me know what you think about all of this going on. What state are you in? Have you already voted early? What polls should you rely on, or do you rely on any polls? Let me know what you guys think, man. This path to 270 is a crazy one for Trump. Should be an easy one, in my opinion, but apparently, according to the mainstream media, it's not going Trump's way, according to them. We shall see. We shall see. I think it's going Trump's way. I think this is going to be great. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. I will be going live again later today to give you guys more updates. I will be hitting the streets for election day, election night. And yeah, see you guys on the next one.